Attention! What you see here is a very small part of a company, and we are representatives of the 7th Illinois Volunteer Infantry. Now, the infantry was the most important part of the Civil War. Without the infantry, you did not have the gallant charges, you did not have Pickett's charge, you did not have any of that. We were a very integral part. While the artillery were there for support, the cavalry was there for reconnaissance, we were here and we did the main part of the job for every general. And that's what we were here for. Now, the most common rifle that the infantrymen had was, for both sides, was the Springfield 58 caliber musket, rifled musket. And I say rifled musket because during the Civil War you had a big change, and that was rifling that goes down the barrel. Does anyone here play football? Yes? No? Maybe so. Okay, good. I'm so glad I have volunteers for this. Well, if you play football, you know that if you don't put a spin on the ball when you throw it, you don't know where in the world it's going to go. But if there's a spin on it, you're pretty sure it's going to be very accurate, and that's what you had this for. During the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812, you had smooth bores, and it's the same thing. It put no spin on the bullet, so you don't know where that bullet is going to go. With this rifling, now we have up to 500 yards worth of range, and there have been balls that have been found much farther than that very accurately. Also, very common was, if you'll show your rifle please, the Enfield. This was most commonly made in Great Britain. However, the South highly used these because they had trade agreements with, and the cotton trade there with Great Britain. Go ahead and show it as you would. And that was also used in the North as well, but more highly in the South. Both this and this were both the most used rifles by infantry during the war. Anybody have any questions so far? All right. Now, in the loading and firing of this weapon, a good infantryman could get 3 shots off per minute. Now, of course, I'm not the best of infantrymen, but I do try. So, in the loading and firing of the weapon, I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to show you at the moment. But we bring it to load. My feet are at a 45-degree angle, and I put the butt of the stock right there. And I have it facing away from me because if I've been firing for a while and I start putting powder down the barrel, I don't want it firing off on me and taking off my whole face. That's not the most pleasant experience. So, I then reach into my cartridge box and take out, if I can find one, a cartridge. And in the North, these were mass-produced in the factories, and then on this end, glued on would be the mini ball. And that is 100% lead, and you do not want that thing getting into your body. Alright, and when I fire, I'd tear off the end and pour the powder down the barrel. Then I'd stick the rest of the cartridge in with the mini ball and ram it down. And if I'm going to be firing for a while, I'm going to stick it into the ground so that it's ready and accessible and I don't have to pull it out again and put it back in. Now, of course, per safety regulations, I am not allowed to use the ramrod because I don't want to accidentally fire that off. That tends to spear people, and that's not very pleasant. So, after I put in the cartridge, next, I bring it above my belt, put it to half cock, and notice that this is this weapon's safety. I cannot fire this weapon at half cock. Notice that's where the term comes, firing at half cock. So then I reach into my cap box, and just like with the pistols, I have a percussion cap. And I put that on the nipple of the rifle, and now I'm ready to shoot. But at the moment I'm going to take this off. So, now I'm ready to shoot, and I'm ready for my officer to give the call, ready, aim, fire. Alright? Any questions? No? Excellent. I'm now going to try and load this weapon as fast as possible. As I said, a good infantryman can fire 3 shots off per minute. Let's hope I can at least stand up to a little bit of that.
And we've got 2 mini balls. Now most people think mini balls are round and spherical. They're actually conical. Can you see this?
That's a 58. That's what we fire out of these rifles.
Okay, now I'm about to show you a soft lead. He mentioned you don't want soft lead running around in your body because when it hits you, it flattens. It's hard to see. This is actually, you said it was...
A gentleman was hitting the right leg, but they had to have his leg amputated. I actually have his cap box in my haversack.
Fire one!
He said that he would be back right soon. He said to marry me. He went away with shining eyes, the big thing for to see.
30 seconds.
I live with fear, my longing heart would bear for him a son. Pray to God that he return to me from the shadow of
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 minute.
Good job.
How many rounds did you get off?
3.
And you got
2.
with a slight stretch. That would have been considered fairly decent. But remember, they are not loading the ball and having to ram it down. That will slow you down. Add a little bit more time.
Fire 1.
in Alabama. I wish it all was done.
I'd wish us free, no more to be in the shadow of the gun. I'd wish us free, no more to be in the shadow of